All right. Not sure why I'm doing this today. I decided to go live about something that I probably will, I don't know, regret later. And not only that, I decided to promote it on my just regular Facebook feed, not just the business Facebook feed or the business YouTube channel. So here we go. Here's the theme of the day is jealousy, and as one of my friends called it, that nasty green-eyed monster. You know, that one that shows up and you really wish it would go away, but you might have to admit that it's there. So I was thinking the other day about some kind of a background with my cousin and I. So I have a cousin who we're virtually the same age. Okay, she's 2.5 months older. All right, just less than 2 months older than I am. But we grew up spending a lot of time together, and we were great friends. But also, kind of like anybody who's similar age, kind of enemies at times too. Not really, but the bottom line was I was always jealous of her. She seemed to be, faster, smarter, prettier, all those things. And so we always had growing up this kind of relationship where we were competitive. And it sometimes it was fine and sometimes it was a little much, but it is what it is. And it's funny, about 10 years ago, so now we're like in our 40s at that point in time, when we started connecting more like adult friends now. And I said, one of the toughest things about being jealous of you is that, our grandmother, our shared grandmother, she was the mother of my father and mother of her father. We never called her grandmother. This woman was not grandmotherly in any way, shape, or form. But she used to say to me, "Why can't you be more like your cousin Robbie? She's so smart. She's so athletic. She's so pretty." And I was like, "Oh, that's such a tough thing to hear from your grandmother. Like, why can't you be more like your cousin?" And so I was sharing this with my cousin, and she starts laughing and she goes, "Oh my God, that's all that woman ever said to me. Why can't you be more like your cousin Michael? She's so pretty. She's so smart. She's so polite." And so all of our childhoods, we had this woman in the background kind of pitting us off each other, which I'm not going to say that's the only reason for being jealous of somebody, but it did not help the situation. And now it's so fun to be an adult friend of my cousin and have us put those things aside. Another one of my friends that I've known forever, since we were 5 years old, my friend Lisa, I know from time to time will, make comments on Facebook about, "Gosh, I sure am glad all you people can go on vacation, but I don't always want to see your pictures," and she talks really openly about, jealousy at times too, which I always have appreciated her honesty. And I was really thinking about this, and I'm following in her footsteps today, although, doing it live broadcast is something completely different. But because the last couple weeks I have been interviewing people for my podcast, and I got all these guests from an amazing company, and they have all these, all my guests have been like incredibly talented, successful people. Now, when I say successful, I'm also thinking about financially, like they are just blowing it out of the water. And I found, like, after the fifth or sixth interview, I was like, "Oh my God, I suck." Like, why can't I be like these people? Why are they having so much more? Why are they doing so many things and I'm working so hard and not achieving the same results? And frankly, after a few days of that, I began to throw myself a little pity party. I had a little pity party earlier this week. And it was a really tough spot when I had to look in the mirror and go, "Why are you throwing a pity party, for crying out loud?" And I realized it was because I was jealous. I'm interviewing all these amazing people and I'm jealous of them. I want the success they have. And I feel bad because I don't have the success that they have. And so I threw myself a little pity party. And then I recognized it and I went, "Oh my God, I'm doing this because I'm jealous." What a horrible feeling to have. And I don't know how to get past it. Well, I was also, pretty exhausted this week. So after a couple really good nights of sleep, yesterday things started to get a little clearer for me. And so I started to step back and I said, okay, I need to first of all acknowledge that these people have and are achieving things that I have not yet. And I need to start putting that "yet" back in there, because if I don't put the yet, I don't see the possibility. And so they may be achieving great things and I want to achieve those great things, but maybe it's just not yet. Now it's easier said than done, but it was a start for me, to be able to realize that now I have a great opportunity. I'm interviewing them all. I mean, I have for the next week straight, I've got all these interviews every day. So why not ask them more? Ask them about their success. Ask them how they got there. Sometimes it's on camera when we're taping. Sometimes it's before or after we're taping. But if they've achieved things that I want to, and I have the opportunity to ask them questions, I'm going to take advantage of that. And I'm going to put my own ego somewhere over here and try and stomp on it a little bit. And try and not worry about whether or not I'm jealous or my ego's bruised, but say, okay, you have an opportunity to learn. So what are you going to learn in this process? So it's allowed me the last day or so to really think about my journey and where I am with this business. And it's hard. It's been a hard last 9 months for me, as it's been for so many people. And I think I've shared that, prior to COVID, 95% of my business income came from me getting on an airplane and going to speak or train somewhere. And so when that stopped and everything stopped, it was panic. I had a pity party then too, but for other reasons. And as I kind of step back now and look at it, okay, so these people have achieved great things. How have they done that? How are they still, surviving and thriving during all these different crazy issues? And I took my energy after, COVID thing, and I turned it in a different direction. And I turned it to things like the creation of the Shock Your Potential app and building up the YouTube channel. And those things have been successful. Not as successful as I'd like, but they're definitely very successful comparatively of where we were. So that's where my focus is. That's where my results are. So when I really peel back the curtain of these people I'm interviewing, the common theme is they make a lot more money than I do. And I'm jealous of that. So I had to at least tell myself, well, Sherlock, your eyes have not been in that direction. Your eyes have been in a different direction. And where your eyes and your focus were, you are having success. So then you also have to recognize that, you're doing all right and you have more than other people as well. And that's when I went, wow, I bet that, for all these people I'm looking at and saying, I'm jealous of you. Why don't I have that? There's probably people looking at me saying, I'm jealous of that. I wish I had that, which is why I decided to just put it out there and say, we all have other people that we want to be at their level. And there's always somebody who wants to be where we are. We can never forget the journey that we took to get to where we are, nor should we ever forget how hard it is to stay where you are or to climb higher. It's just not easy. So I decided in this whole crazy vein to talk about this and make this my topic. And the moment I put the header out on this, I have had so many people respond saying, I can't wait, but I'm almost afraid to watch it because then that admits that I'm jealous of other people. And I'm like, you think that's hard for you? I'm going to do it live and talk about it. And I'm going to, put up the mirror to me and say, okay, Sherlock, if you're jealous of other people, you're going to have to deal with that and acknowledge it. So by doing it, I am making myself very vulnerable. And I think that's a good thing for me. Is sometimes sometimes you are working so hard to make sure everything looks great on the outside that you forget that the vulnerability is also what shows your authentic self. And I'm definitely feeling vulnerable this week. So yesterday, I interviewed a gentleman, and it was such a great interview. We'll air it in December. And he was talking about, what to do to, help find your own mental clarity and how to keep yourself in a positive mindset. And so he had things that, that I do. He was talking about meditation and exercise and, eating right and those things. But he said, two things that really struck me. Number one is every day, write down the thing that was the best of your day and write down the worst thing of your day. And that way you remember that even on your worst days, there was always something good that happened. And on your best days, you remember that there's always something that's not perfect, so that you're never trying to, be one or the other or stay in one or the other, that we're always looking at it as balance. But then he also reminded me or told me, he said, I encourage my clients to do one random act of kindness every day. And after I finished the interview with him, I thought, that's really important. It's important for me. So if I can get out of my own head and do something for somebody else, then maybe that will help me keep my head in the right space. And so I thought about the people that I'm feeling this jealousy towards. And, by this time of the week or earlier in the week, it was like everybody's got more than I do. Everybody's doing more things than I do. Everybody has more followers than I do. I was just down my own rabbit hole. And I thought, I'm going to go back to one of those people and I'm going to give them a compliment that is about one of the things that I really admire about them and / are jealous of them. And it just so happens that there's a woman whose book I had just finished last night. And she's somebody I'm actually going to highlight in our Book of the Month Club that we launch in January. And I sent her a voice text and I just said, I just finished your book and I am so grateful for your book. This hit me at the right time. I was feeling very lost this week. I was feeling very sorry for myself. I was feeling very much a pity party. And I want to thank you for your inspiration and your words, and your book just really touched me. And by the time I'm done with my voice message to her, I'm in tears. And I got a message back from her that was almost the same. She's like, you can't even know how important this is today. I was doubting. I was feeling frustrated. I was feeling like I didn't know what path I was on. And so in this, teary exchange with two people, it was such a reminder with me about how we're all really the same. And so if I'm feeling these things, chances are lots of other people are, and probably those people that I'm jealous of or emulating are as well. So what am I going to do about it? And what am I going to do about it for me? So today, I got another great night's sleep. Last night, I went to bed really early, slept well. And I think I slept well because I finally had made some decisions and I'd let some of these things off my shoulders. And so that sleep was a very peaceful one. And I woke up this morning just like ready to go, high energy. I've been taping podcast episodes all morning. I've got 4 more in the afternoon. But what I'm feeling is grateful. And I'm feeling recommitted. And what I have done is to try and reconnect to my goals and my purpose and remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing. And if I don't have the financial return that I'd like to yet, but I'm doing the right thing for the right reasons, then I know it will come. But I also have to remember where the focus is. So if part of that is financial, security, well, then make sure I'm focused on the part that actually drives money. But if I'm really still focused on also what my passion is, then be proud of the things that I accomplish with that. So that's just my little rambling thought today. As you see, I added in my little journal about how jealousy this week first brought me down really, really far. And then it started to bring me back up again. So I hope you enjoy this. And by the way, if you want to make sure to support me too, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and you can download my Shock Your Potential app. Those things would make me really happy today. There was a shameless plug in there. See, I can't stop. Anyway, thank you all. And I hope you have a blessed weekend. And remember to always work hard and stay on track to shock your potential.